So the last thing we want to look at are just some important derivatives to remember. Several times we've already mentioned that if you have a function f of x is x to the n, df dx is just n times x to the n minus 1. So that's one of the important ones you should always know and remember, and that you're expected to know. Another is sine of u. So in this case, df dx is cosine of u du dx. So what do I mean by that? What I mean is, let's say we have something like f of x is equal to sine ax. Then the derivative of x is cosine ax times the sine of u, which in this case is ax, which is just an a, or a cosine ax. So we add this term on the end, just remembering that u might not just be x. It may be some function of x, and in that case we need to take the derivative of that too, and anything that comes along with it. Okay, if we have cosine, the derivative is just minus sine u du dx. So again, this is the same thing. If this was just cosine of x, then you don't even need that other term on there. You would just have f of x equals cosine of x. So the derivative is just minus sine of x. And so but that's just a special case, because this could be any function of x. We have the exponential function, e to the u. So the derivative of that is just e to the u du dx. And again, this is the same as what I said for sine and cosine. And then finally, if we have a logarithm, derivative is just 1 over u du dx. So that's it. These are really the only formulas you need to know, along with the chain rule, the product rule, the sum rule, and you'll be able to calculate every derivative you need for this class. For the most part, all you're really going to need is to know these formulas. There's aren't going to be very many times where you need the others, except on this upcoming exam, just to make sure you know those, because we don't want to have you getting later in the semester and realize, oh, there's some parts of calculus you don't really understand in full yet, because everything we do is going to be built off of everything we did before. So you have to make sure that you've really mastered each skill before you move on. But at the same time, we're not going to be doing anything as difficult as the problems you did in your calculus class when you learned these things the first time.